What is up, guys? I was going to do the normal thing, you know, put that screen up and play, and I forgot when I originally set up OBS, I had the guitar coming through channel 3 and 4, and I was able to mute mics, and I had that screen window set up to receive certain channels. So when when I hit go live, I figured I could play, and I didn't really pay attention that the wing rack thing wasn't in OBS, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, so I guess I'll have to just play through now that I'm here. Made some changes each week. I'm going to make some changes. I'm still learning, but I have learned a little bit more. I have a full time job during the day, and I've been coming home. Last night I played so much my fingers are actually still sore, which is a good thing. Um, there for a while, guys, I just wasn't playing that much, other than during the stream. And I love guitar, and sometimes, the old saying is, "Oh, I got this new guitar now I'm playing." I mean, I used to do that too, but it's been a while since I've had that feeling where, I'm at work and I'm going home. I'm like, I'm gonna plug my freaking guitar in when I get home, and I'm gonna turn it up, and I'm gonna piss off the neighbors. uh, and that's kind of how I was last night. I was so excited because normally when I come home, I play through Linnell's little Yamaha amp, and it went through the my mixing board into these control room monitors that I have. You'll notice that we do have this amp hooked up tonight, so we are gonna run some tubes. Right now, this is solid state, and I have done some fine tuning with this solid state amp, and it might have just a little bit too much as far as effects, but I want to get it right. And the what I hear in the headphones from prior experience, I'll get it right here, and then I go back and listen to it, and it seems like I have too much effects. It sounds right in my headphones, so that's most likely going to mean I have too much effects. So here it goes. Give it a little bit more volume. That Sustainiac is kind of stupid. I really need. I keep saying I'm gonna. It's funny. This setting on the tube amp, it doesn't do that. It seems like on the solid state stuff, the far setting with the Sustainiac is stupid. But when you put it in the tube amp, it doesn't seem to be quite as responsive. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm using the word responsive. But it seems like the Sustainiac sustains more and creates more feedback in a modeling amp. When I do it in the tube amp, it's still a lot, but it's not near as bad as when I use it in the Yamaha. I do have some other settings, so let's try this setting and we'll go over to the Sustainiac. Missed that one, but I'm having so much fun. I can't really. I was missing it, and I don't know what it is. It just seems. I mean, I'm playing. I've played this guitar a million times. I'm playing through the same amp. I guess the Mackie was. I had so many issues with it, and there was so much dirt and stuff in the pots. It's so much clearer, and I'm getting so much more, I guess, fidelity in my headphones. Now, I know YouTube compresses the snot out of the signal, so probably what you guys are hearing isn't quite as lively sounding, but in my headphones, it's just so amazing how much better the guitar sounds. And I get it. It's kind of processed because I'm running it through a bunch of stuff. But we're going to use this amp a little bit tonight. And basically, we're coming out of the preamp stage and I'm bypassing. I know there was a gentleman here on the last stream. He really wanted to hear the Pro Valve. Not going to be able to do that this week because I didn't get all my microphones hooked up. So we're bypassing the Pro Valve, and I have it hooked up to a NUX pulse pedal that'll emulate the cabinet. So that's how we have it set up tonight. I do have two SM57 betas, and I have two SA stereo paired microphones. So I'm going to use a 57 and one of the SAs on it. Hopefully have that up and running. Probably won't be this Saturday. Maybe by next Thursday we can have that up and going. Really, I made a lot of progress. Even though on your all's in, you may not hear it. It's well, one, this is a stupid guitar. I love this thing so much. It's probably one of my best guitars. This is it's the Schecter Mach 6. Got the on the back. I'm pretty sure this is Purple Heart or Berbinga with the maple. So it's a 5-piece neck through body. You can see how it goes all the way through the guitar. It's a sharp playing guitar. When I first got it, I said that it played really stupid, and I was kind of on the fence on the pickup. It is different compared to the other guitars I have. It seems to be voiced and toned more for like drop tuning type stuff. But I'm starting to get a handle on it. I'm starting to like some of the things that I don't think I was liking about it before. It's starting to grow on me. I'm kind of liking the pickup in it. And no, for those that are asking, I've yet to fix the pickup. That's why I was just looking at it to see how close the pickup is to the strings. If I continue playing it, the pickup will rise up and it will start hitting the guitar strings. Um, it's fine. I can tune it down. I play it for about 2 hours and the pickup will rise. I really think what they did is the pre-drill in the bottom of the guitar. I think they used a little bit too large of a pre-drill bit, and the screws are just a little too loose. So those springs underneath the pickup, as the body resonates, and this thing, when it's against you and you're playing it, you can really feel the body of the guitar resonating against you. It has a lot of resonation in it, or vibration, whatever you want to call it, and it literally, I think, is turning. Well, I know it's turning those screws, and that pickup is rising. The poor dog got carried away. uh, yeah, I'm just happy, guys. You can hear the dogs went crazy. The young lady's just come back in the house. Ooh, yes. Thank you so much, honey. She went down to the store, and this stuff's like liquid crack. For me, it is. I literally need to. If I stopped drinking these, I would probably save a tremendous amount of money between paychecks. But I am like really addicted to them. And now I find myself, if I don't have one, I almost feel like I don't have energy. I've gotten so used to drinking these. I don't know what's in them. It can't be good for you. But I am really into the monsters. I probably drink, you guys are going to laugh, I probably drink 2 of these things, maybe 3 some days. Yeah, it's probably not good. That accumulates to about $11 a day. So if I got off those, I could I know I could buy one more budget guitar every month for review just by not drinking these darn things. Yeah, exactly. Blue Mox said that would be an easy fix, just to pull the pickup out, take a little tight bond, put a toothpick in it. I just need to do it. I don't plan on doing it until the guitar needs strings. It should probably have strings on it replaced now. I've had the guitar, I don't know, maybe 7 months, 8 months. We'd have to go back and see when I did the actual review on it. But the strings still feel good. I tell you that I like the Diodario XL, or was that NYXLs? I was using those for a long time, and I felt like they were chewing up frets more so than normal. So I was searching for a different brand, and then I bought a couple sets of the String Joy, and I actually liked the String Joy. But what I seem to be really liking right now is the Diodario XS strings, and they're not. Well, they are. I guess they're expensive strings. They're not quite as expensive as the String Joy, but I am liking the XS. And there was another brand that Shandor Music told me to try. I've been putting tape on the back of the guitars when I do it. That way, if I find a set and I'm like, man, I'm really liking these strings, and I'm like, well, I don't remember what I put on it, I can flip the guitar over and go, okay, this guitar has Super Slinkies on it. It's got XS's on it. It's got NYXLs on it, or it's got String Joys on it. Can't remember the other brand that I tried. I did like those strings though. And I'm starting, most of my strings are 9 to 42s. And I have found on certain guitars, like this guitar, I'm actually liking the 10 gauge. down here and not the 9. Um, and I don't know. I've noticed that on like the tremolo guitars that I have, it seems like the 42 to 9 seems to be my favorite. But on the fixed bridge guitars, I've been going 56 to 10s. And if someone has an idea why that would be, I'm not really sure. But I did try to put 42 to 9s on the fixed tail one time, and I thought it was just I was over bending. I was doing some weird things with it. It seems backwards to me. It seems like I would like the thicker string on the tremolo because the tremolo will give a little bit, but it seems a little backwards. Yeah. Oh, someone's got to model her new do. Oh, if no one knows, Linnell had long hair. If you're just now tuning in, you don't have to be a subscriber to chat. I do ask you to subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. We're investing in the channel, but I'm not forcing you to subscribe to the channel. I see there's 34 people. Come in here. There's great people. Get involved, chat, hang out, have fun. That's what it's about. Hopefully, before you leave, you're going to go down, hit the thumbs up button, and you will subscribe to the channel. We have a ton of guitar reviews. We've reviewed probably over 75 guitars, and those guitars are under guitar reviews and live reviews. So we have done both, and that's live demo, a full live review. If I make a mistake, you guys have called me. Hey, the website says this. It's great because it's a one-shot deal, and you get to see my first impressions without edit. But anyway, Linnell had long hair, and she just, I guess, got tired of it, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to chop it off. So here's the funny honey with her short hair. It's almost like I went to the bar and brought home some strange.
And this is for Cheryl. This is my new.
Yeah, that's her new shirt. Cheryl wanted to see her new. You have to slide over just a little bit because the microphone's in your way. There you go. This is a Shenandoah Music shirt. So everyone knows Shenandoah Music has been great to the channel. They allow us to bring guitars here for review, and they do not ask me to sugarcoat it. They say, what you find, just tell the truth. And Shenandoah Music's a lot like me. Their tech there, that's the only guy I will let work on my guitars. When I buy a guitar, there's sometimes people go, oh, it's just a setup. Just go home and do it. I set up guitars every night of the week. Sometimes I just want to go into the store and say, I like this guitar. How much would it be for you guys to, put my preferred strings on it, set the intonation, set it up like this, and Shenandoah Music does that for me. And they don't charge me an arm and a leg. And I know the guy. Now, I know I think it was 150 the last time they did it for me, but that's with the strings. He's setting the intonation. He's setting neck relief. I don't have a problem paying that because I know the man does. What's the gentleman's name, hon? I can't even remember.
Who?
The gentleman at Shenandoah that I really like that does the setups.
Oh, Brian.
Brian. Guys, if you live down here and I'm not available, Brian he's a great tech. And I tell people that all the time. If you get a working relationship with a store and a tech, that's great. I bought a guitar from him. Brian set it up for me. And I went in. This is what I want. These are the strings I want. Fine. So I got the guitar, a nice case, and a great setup. Come home, plugged it in, and just played. Sometimes I'm all about that. But my point is, support your local stores, guys. If you're in Northern Virginia, give Shenandoah Music a call. They're great guys over there. There's a good tech. That's the issue. A lot of times, guitar centers and stuff like that, the tech department, most of the time, those guys are subs. They're leasing out that area. So if there's a problem, Guitar Center's kind of like, But at Shenandoah, he's an employee. Now, he does get a little kickback from them each setup he does, but they'll stand behind something if it's not right. I'm a firm believer in that. So, but Cheryl wanted to see the shirt, so we proudly support our local stores. And it's not just Shenandoah. I do have a Guitar Center close to me, and we buy stuff at Guitar Center too. I got no issues with it. I went into Shenandoah. I said, look, I'm thinking about buying a Behringer wing rack. And they said, well, Behringer's hard to deal with. They only deal with huge stores. And that's true, like AMS, Guitar Center, Sweetwater. You got to be huge. And they said, well, there's a new distributor. We might be able to bring Behringer in. And I said, well, I'll wait. And I've been waiting, probably 9 to 10 months. And the last time I went in, I said, look, I got to buy a rack. I need a new mixing console. And they told me about the Yamaha TF rack. And I'm not going to sit here and, beat my head against the wall on which one's better. I will say this. I think the Behringer has more features, but if I had to go out professionally and play every weekend and plug the rack in and expect it to work and not shut down and not cause problems, I'm going to put my money on the Yamaha TF rack mount mixing console. And that's completely pulling it out of my butt, guys. I know Yamaha makes good products. I've got a ton of Yamaha stuff. They're bulletproof stuff. So just knowing what I know about Behringer, I know my wing rack that I just bought. I bought the Behringer, has Midas preamps in it. It's a quality unit. I just think the Yamaha might be built, the construction and the input and output jacks is probably just a little better. But it costs more money. It's about $500 more, and it has less features. So I'm just like you guys. I want to buy something that fits my needs, that fits my budget. And believe this actually doesn't fit my budget, but we're really going to push it the next 6 months to make the extra payment on this because I want to make the channel better. So I did push it a little bit, and I got a Behringer wing rack. And so far, I'm loving it. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd say the TF. And they said, look, we can get you a TF rack. And I was like, what about Behringer? And they said, it's going to take some time. And I said, well, you got to buy in. You got one buyer right here. I don't know if it's a $10,000 buy-in, $20,000 buy-in, whatever it would be. But I got $2,000 of that buy-in covered if you get Behringer. And it just come down to the other week. I went in. They said, no, we're just not going to be able to get it. So I called Sweetwater. Could I have gotten it at Guitar Center? Yeah, I would have had to order it. I already had a good working relationship with my sales engineer at Sweetwater. So I just pulled the trigger with Sweetwater. Now, I will give Sweetwater hell for this. The double boxed packed great. They didn't put any freaking candy in the box. I was really wanting that bit of honey, and I'm looking for it. Linnell's like, where's the candy? And I'm looking in the box. No candy. And I think it was because it was double boxed, and the box was already huge. They probably didn't want to open the box, because then I would think it was an open box to shove a little candy bag in it. But no, I didn't get any candy with it. So, Sweetwater, I spent a lot of money. Duct tape it to the side of the box or something.
Blue Mark says Avery grats on getting the sound fixed up.
Yeah, it's sounding much better. Blue Mox, we are cheating, but that's fine. I found a way of bypassing the problem. The only thing I want to fix now, and I don't know if you guys can hear it, there's a definite digital artifact coming from the wing rack. It's like a and I don't know if that's the time clock in it or what it is. This is my first full digital board. There's no sliders. There's no mixing board. It's just a rack mount module. I like that. I like the form factor that doesn't take up a lot of room. But this is my first all digital unit. So I'm going to need to do some research and talk to other people. And I found that churches seem to really like the wing products, like the smaller wing and the full size wing. So I might run around and talk to some of these guys that use this thing on a weekly basis and see how they have their channels running, or if I'm doing something wrong that's accentuating that. And I don't know, I'll be quiet. And if you guys, I won't make any noise. If you guys turn up your volume, it's a sound. And I'll be quiet. Okay. Hopefully you turned up your volume and maybe it's translating to YouTube. That's the only issue that I've seen with the wing rack right now. And it may not be an issue. It might be something with my gain structure and how I have my equipment plugged into it. I don't know. I'm new to it and I'm learning, but I promised you guys that I would convey what I've found as I learn. And I will say this, I have a lot of rack mount digital effects units, and I can see the allure to this because there's built-in plugins, and every channel can have pretty much any plugin. And I didn't buy an extra plugin thing. It come with reverbs, delays, choruses. And my Sweetwater rep said it had no amp modeling. That is untrue. There are 4 or 5 amp models in this thing. You just got to go through. There's 15 effects page groups, and each page group the effects kind of change. Like I think some of them are looking at it like some of them have aerial exciters, some have D-bass exciters, some have more limiters. So I'm thinking some of these preset effects boxes are set up for like, oh, this is a drum bus. I'm going to go to effects 7. And group 7 gives you a bunch of stuff that's probably good with drums. Group 6, maybe vocals or something like that.
Well, most everybody can hear the noise you were talking about, and Warheart Art says interference from a light or TV or charger somewhere.
Yeah, now that you say that, that does kind of sound like the noise we used to get at the bar or playing. Most of my cabling though is shielded. But now that you mention that, I saw a thing on Behringer when you're using the Cat 5 cables, and I do have Cat 5 cables plugged into this because I'm trying to get Wing Edit to work, and he said it needed to be a shielded Cat 5 cable, and it had to have something grounded on the Cat 5E cable. He said Cat 5E and Cat 6 shielded with some kind of grounded termination on the shield part of the. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Mikey said LEDs.
Actually, Mikey, well, no, I guess we do. My 2 big studio lights are LEDs, and we are running LED bulbs in the house. But I'm thinking now that that was mentioned, it's probably that Cat 5E because it was definitely mentioned in the Behringer stuff when you're running the outboard and you use the Cat 5 to control like the P16 and stuff like that to make sure that you used a shielded Cat 5E and some kind of shielded block terminal that's grounded on the end. I didn't know what it was talking about. I may have to call my Sweetwater rep. I'm sure that he knows what that's probably exactly what it is because they pointed that out in the manual. And I ordered, because I didn't have a cable long enough to go over to the router, I ordered a standard, I think this is a Cat 8 cable. I wanted the extra bandwidth. So I might have wasted $27.
Backwoods Billy says could be a neighbor that has a shortwave radio.
I haven't had that issue in a long time. My last place I lived, there was a guy 2 houses down that had I guess it wasn't a moonraker, but it was an array antenna for 6 meter and 2 meter. They had the multiple, and he would point it. And if it was pointed a certain way, it would screw up my TV, my radios, and everything. But I haven't seen anything like that down here. I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's probably any ham guys here, and if they are, they're using very small interior antennas. I haven't had that issue in a long time. And that's sad. I used to be into ham radio.
Warhart says systematically test with different inputs, outputs, power cables, outlets until you find the culprit.
I hope it's not in the outlet because I just literally rewired this house about 7 or 8 years ago. This house had the cloth bobbin wire in the walls, and I went to change a couple of the plugs, and the coating on the wires just literally crumbled off. So room by room, we rewired the house so my lights and plugs are separated. Every plug, like the 2 bedrooms are on a separate circuit, this living room's on a separate circuit, the kitchen has multiple circuits. The plugs on the one wall are separated from the countertop plugs, which are separated from the microwave. But all my lights are on a separate circuit. That way, if I need to hang a ceiling fan, I can still plug a lamp in the floor and be able to see. So it is wired correctly, and there's no junky 14-2 wire in this house. It's all solid copper 12-2. Every circuit in this house is a 20 amp circuit. I ran no 14 gauge wire because I work in housing. I program machines and we make stuff for new houses. You go in these new houses, you turn the lights on, they go whoop. Especially if something else like a motor cuts on in the house, you'll see them. And that's that aluminum wire, and it's 14-2. It can't carry the current. It's just not good stuff. So when I did this house, I made sure it was solid copper. It's not that mixed stuff or the copper or aluminum core with copper laminate around the wire. It's real. I couldn't afford to wire this house nowadays. Copper has went the past 4 years. It's tripled in price. It's crazy what wiring costs. So hopefully it's not in my wiring because all the plugs, all the switches, everything's new. And I bought the commercial grade switches. These aren't residential switches. So each one of these switches were about $7 or $8 a piece. But when you flip the switch, it's a solid cut. You feel like it's clunk. You buy some of these Levitron switches at Lowe's, it's like $1.50. It's like click, 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 click. It feels like a cheap piece of plastic.
Backwoods Billy says, have you thought about the battery backup that's shielded and has surge protection? Plug that into the outlet, then plug your system into that.
Battery backup. I don't. I used to have some. It's Emerson. I know what you guys are thinking. Emerson makes really high end battery backup voltage systems, and I had a rack of those that come out of one of the CAA complexes down here. They refurbish about every 4 or 5 years, and they throw the stuff away. And a friend of mine said, "Look, they're throwing all these power soak conditioners and battery backup units away, and they were all rack mount Emersons." And I went down and I got 4 or 5 of the rack mount battery units, and 4 or 5 of the inverter units to invert to keep the power on. And I ran those things for a long time, but eventually the batteries needed replacing, and the batteries in those things, it was going to be $5,000 or $6,000 just to replace the batteries. So I found a guy that wanted them, and I couldn't use them on my solar. I've got solar here with lithium. I run 18650 batteries. I know what you got. Yes, they are reclaimed 18650s. Basically, I have 5,000, probably more than 5,000 18650 batteries in my basement on setup for solar, and they're all fused together. And it's a 15S system, so it's like 300 18650s make up one battery, and there's 15 groups of those batteries, and I have 2 groups of 15 with 300 batteries in each group. That's what the main cell, and then we have just cells in boxes. I probably have another 4 or 5,000 cells that are ready to make more batteries. I kind of got out of it. You can ask Linnell. I used to sit down there and just solder battery packs and twist copper wire. And at this point, lithium battery technology's come down. So if you're running solar, look back into some of these Life E4. I don't think I would do 18650s and do lithium anymore. I think I would go with a Life E4 pack. It's a little safer. It's still a little volatile, but not near as volatile as my 18650s. I really should put a sign on the door, because if the house ever caught on fire, the fire department really needs to know that I have so many of those 18650. They get hot, they explode.
Mikey said, does it work?
It works fine. My issue with solar, and I'm not a tree hugger, guys. I'm an average guy. I thought I'd try solar. The problem with solar is if you don't use the power, you got to burn it off. So in the summertime, you can find that happy medium on how much power you need. But then when wintertime comes, the sun's down lower in the sky, you can't make that much power. So you buy more solar panels. Then summer comes, and now you're making too much power. So when I had the array working in the backyard, I used to tell my neighbor, if you see that blue light on, just if you're outside working, plug your extension cords in. I said, it's free power. I've already charged my batteries. If you don't use it, I'm going to have to run it through these big, huge resistors and burn it off. It has to go somewhere. That's what they don't tell you with solar. Once your batteries are charged, that power has to go somewhere. So you have to burn it off. And the more panels you have, the more you have to burn off. So I think it's fine. Is it worth it? I think maybe you do save a little bit, but by the time you invest all that money in it, you got to think every year your panel's less and less efficient. So I'm not going to badmouth it. I mean, my panels are probably 10 years old, and the new panels are the exact same price that I paid for my panels, but they're putting out a lot more power.
There, many Guitar Society says, can't you sell it back to the grid?
Normally, in a nice state, you could, but they want you to hook up here, and I went through zoning and all kinds of crap here. According to zoning, I have to hook it up for reverse feed to the grid. Okay? But then the town won't pay me a penny for it. So when I told that to the guy at zoning, he goes, no, you get a credit. I'm like, no, you don't. I just spoke to him. And he went to the town. See, my town buys the electricity off the electric company and then resells it to us. Yeah, it's a scam. And I went out and I said, now, if I hook this up, are you going to give me money when you fish current that comes out of my house to my neighbor? And she goes, we don't offer a credit program. And I looked at the zoning guy. I said, I'm not hooking it up. I'm not doing that. So I've got a big service disconnect out here. So if anything ever happens, the fire department can go down and hit the service disconnect. So technically, I'm not legal because there's a statute in the town, but I'm not going to give them free power. I'm not going to do that.
Indeed says, last I tuned in, we were diagnosing the new board/audio. Did it get sorted?
Yeah, the new, you don't hear the clicking. Now, we do have a little bit of an artifact going on. Some people are saying that's probably a shielded cable if I'm quiet. You can hear there's a little bit of noise, but there's no popping and there's no clicking going on. And I'll play the guitar a little bit. I am plugged into my rack amp with this one, so I do have to turn up the rack amp. So we are going to play some tubes, guys. You guys like tubes, don't you? I know I like tubes. Tubes are cool. Wow, that's loud. Yeah, we like tubes. And it is a new system, so I'm still learning where the beaters need to be. And that's still a little too hot. Let me turn it down a little bit more. Now, hear that? That's me changing the fader. So that's a digital artifact too. You hear that? Now, if you're doing a live sound, I'm sorry, there's got to be a way around that. Still a little too hot, guys. Let me turn it down. You hear that? That's me rolling the slider back on the wing rack. We are going to cut that gain just a little bit more. We'll go to 14. So now I'm getting a lot of pop because you guys know that I really attack the strings. So I'm going to mute my two mics and I'm going to leave Linnell's mic open. So that's my first test with the Rockbound amp, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to dial it in. So we're coming out of the Synergy. That was a Friedman module, going into an applied research technology, into a BBE 362, into a inline uh, tube. It's an inline preamp basically, with 312 AX7s, into a NUX Pulse cab simulator, right into the channel, and there's no post processing. It sounds like it's overgained, so I'm gonna have to make some adjustments on this end.
Mark says a ground problem.
What's this?
Mark said a ground problem.
Um,
And
if
then
if it
Warheart says a ground loop because you're touching the guitar.
which the popping noise, I don't think that would be a ground loop.
Uh-uh.
I mean, the guitar is quiet. One thing I am really picky on is ground noise with my guitar, so there's no extra hum from my guitars. I'm really picky on that. But when I'm hearing it sounds like a clipping issue, so I'm gonna have to go into my rack, make some changes. Let's unplug the rack. Let me go in and we're gonna switch channels here. Rack amp. We are gonna mute the rack amp. Let me plug into the modeling amp. So now we're gonna do the modeling amp, which I've spent a little bit more time working on the modeling amp. Oh, and it cut off. I don't know why. If anyone has the THR10, if someone can please tell me why the unit, if it's plugged into USB, why it all of a sudden just shuts off. So this is my modeling amp. It's quite mean sounding. And guys, that is a $350, well, it's 360 now. It's a THR10 Mach 2. If you go to the store and you play it, it's got little speakers on it. So it doesn't really sound that good with the speakers. Don't buy it for that. I'm telling you, plug a jack terminal, the headphone out, come out of the headphone jack, right into a PA.
Kurt says, Avery, you can change that in the app for the THR10.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. Is it in the app? A shut off or something? It might be. If I take the USB out, it'll stay on. But if it doesn't receive a signal and it sits over there idle with the USB on, it shuts the amp down. And I'm not saying I really mind it, but sometimes I'll look over and I'm like, why is the amp off? So I hadn't used it. We were playing this amp, and when I went to plug into it, it had already turned off. That is mean sounding, guys. I still think I have yet to find a modeler that sounds that good. And I know it doesn't sound like that. As soon as you unplug the headphone jack and you listen to those two little crappy speakers it comes with, it's kind of like, But if you put it through a power amp into two nice speakers, this thing is stupid. That is just a stupid sounding amplifier. And right now, I got to give them credit. And I'm qualifying that. If you guys go and play it, I know you're going to go, well, it's not the sound. Take it home, plug it into your freaking PA system. Just while you're there, go, oh, it's an 1/8 inch TRS. Get yourself an 1/8 inch TRS Y splitter to dual 1/4 inch because it's stereo out, because it's had the chorus and stuff that's in its stereo. And then take it right to your power amp, left in, left right. If you got a mixing console, take up 2 channels and blow it through your PA speakers. It is just stupid sounding in that condition. I get it. The 2 little factory speakers aren't that good. Yamaha, if you're listening, give me that right there. I know you're not going to make it, but give me that without the amplifier in it, without the speakers, and put it in a rack mount module or put it in a floor stomp. I'm telling you, it'll sell. It'll sell. Just put that in a little floor stomp pedal. It'll sell. All these guys running these little it's Class D power amps they put on their pedal boards. Perfect. Put that thing in a little floor stomp pedal, come out of that to the little, well, I guess Seymour Duncan or somebody makes them. The little, I forget, it's only about this big. It's like a 60 or 70 watt little solid state amp. Plug it into that and go right out to your 412 cabinet, or just make it to where you can go headphones out right to a powered PA driver. Yamaha, that thing would sell. As soon as these YouTubers would plug that thing in and the versatility of it, you couldn't tell me you could make that thing for $200, because you're not giving me, it wouldn't need all the stuff. I wouldn't need the speakers. I don't need the amp section. Smaller case. I don't know how big the board is in that, but you could definitely size it and get it down small enough. Maybe do a twin board. It would sell. I know you're like, well, we own line 6. That's fine. I've got a line 6 pedal here right now. Okay? I cannot get that sound out of this. The reverb in this pedal doesn't sound like the reverb in that Yamaha. That is a nice, I'm not saying it's a Fender reverb. It's not that springy, but for rock guitar, it's got butt. And it's not so over the top when you're playing. The reverb is killing your other notes. Every time I do a reverb in the HX Stomp, when you get something close, it seems to like cut and stomp out your next note. And I know Yamaha and Line 6, same company. I get one's Yamaha owns or whatever. Yamaha, go over to Line 6 and whatever you're doing in this modeling apparatus, put it over on the line 6 side because it translates to the guitar really well.
Backwoods Billy says, "Did you hear about Phil McKnight being threatened by a possible lawsuit by a guitar company?"
Yeah, we Linnell actually just watched that video right before the stream. You know, I'm surprised I haven't received anything, but I don't get anything from really anybody. I'm surprised Leo. Leo James did make a comment one time about one of mine videos, and I said, "Well, if you believe the review's unfair, send me a guitar. You can hand pick me a guitar in your plant, send it to me." And I knew it would be better than, but they're like, nah. I mean, I gave them the opportunity, and I don't think I was overly hard on them. I think this new guitar they're making without the ball end frets, if the neck and body's on it, I'm going to tell you guys, hey, they dropped the stupid ball end fret thing. This is a good mod platform. And if the neck on it and the fretwork is decent, I can already tell you at that price point, that's going to be a good mod platform because it doesn't have the ball end frets and it's got a cool neck on it. So we're thinking about ordering one. And if it's decent, I'm going to tell you guys. But I already know at that price point, the tremolo can't be good and the pickups can't be that good. And the electronics, you know, maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm talking completely out of my butt. But at $220, at least the tremolo we know we're going to have to replace. That's fine. You can get a Godo for, $130, $160 if you got to get the nut. That still puts the guitar under Ibanez's reverse headstock Geo that has the same tremolo that you put on the Gem. They lowered the price on that. That's $400 now. That's hard to beat, guys. Now they did not put the quantums in that guitar. It's got the inferiums or something in them. It's not the quantums. Now this guitar has the quantums, and I like the quantums. I really love the sound of the quantum pickups. I'm sure I've heard the other Ibanez pickups, but they're a grade below the quantums. But it's $399, and it's got the same bridge they put in the Gem. Is that bridge great? The two that I've played hold tune. Now the question is, how long will they last? I don't know. I did reviews on both guitars. Some people say I've had the guitar for about a year and a half. Then the knife edges were worn out. The guitar wouldn't return to zero. Then I've also had comments. I've had the guitar for years, never had a problem. You got to quantify all that, guys, because the guy that's had the guitar for years, I've had guitars here too now for 3 or 4 years, not had a problem. But I have a lot of guitars. So do I play my Yamaha RevStar every day? Absolutely not. I play it 1 or 2 nights, maybe a month. And it might go back in the room in the case and sit back there for 2 months. So is it getting a lot of use? So if I have that guitar for 6 years and I go, look, I had this guitar for 6 years, never had a problem. Well, how much have you played it? So I always look at it and go, okay, he hasn't had a problem. How much has he played the guitar? We know it's softer metal. Softer metal just isn't going to last as long. It's just the way it is. I want to say things are good, and I'll say, hey, it works good, but keep in mind it's softer metal. If you're out playing every night with that guitar, playing 3 and 4 hours a night, how long is that tremolo going to last? Maybe 6 months, 7 months, a year? When my Schecter here, it's got the stainless steel Floyd on it. The base plate, the post, it's stainless steel, and it's hardened. That bridge should last a long time. It should. Will it? I don't know. I can tell you my Kahler Spider that's on my Vandenberg, I played the crap out of that guitar, and it's got the original knife edges. That guitar has replaceable knife edges. I've never done anything to that freaking bridge, and I played it out professionally for over 10 years. Was it my main guitar? No. Now, I know what you get. Was it your main guitar? No. My PV Nitro was my main guitar, and that had a Kahler 2700 killer. So before people go, oh, they still make the 2700. Nah, it's a completely different bridge. Go back and look at the 2700 killer, best bridge they ever produced, best bridge ever. That bridge is original, and I played that guitar a lot. I've played that guitar so much where the frets are shot on that. There is no more fret to fix. The grooves are worn so far in those frets to get them right. It needs a refret. So it needs to be refretted, and that tremolo still returns perfectly every time. When I say perfectly, put it on a tuner, get the string perfectly tuned, just beat the snot out of it, let go of it, and it'll go right back. Now, to our ears, you're probably close. But a really high-end tremolo, you should be able to beat the snot out of it. When you let go of it, your nice strobe tuner, it should go back. How many bridges actually do that? The ones that I've reviewed on the channel, there's probably only been maybe 5 or 6 guitars we've ever reviewed that the tremolo was that accurate. It goes back close enough. How far out? You talk 2 or 3 cent, 4 cent. What's acceptable? That's kind of up to you guys. Maybe I should point that out in the future. The Jackson Virtuoso we reviewed, right back to 0. The Schecter, right back to 0. There's been a couple other ones. I believe the Kramers with the 1000s, I didn't have an issue with. And then there's some that are in between, like the Ibanez Gem. It's not perfect when it returns. It might be a cent or 2 off. The next time it might be perfect. The next time it might be a cent off. So it's not, it's not perfect. But that's fine. That's a $550 guitar versus a $1,700 guitar. So I expect my $1,700 guitar to have a little bit better quality pots in it, a little bit better tuners, and it does. This has got some very nice tuners on it. The Jackson had Godot open, nice locking Godot tuners on it. I know what you're saying. Well, that's a $100 tuner. Well, that's a $2,100 guitar. I could put those tuners on it. Everything's relative. So if you're putting $100 tuners in it, the company has to double their money for what they're paying it in labor. So that $100 retail tuner is going to cost you $200 or $250 on your name brand instrument. It's just the nature of the beast. If you're in business and you buy something for $10, you got to double it and then cover your time. If not, you're not going to be in business very long. The government, taxes, electricity, insurance for your employees, plant rent, whatever, it eats your profit up. That's why when people start complaining like that, the Gibson, it's now got that $2,600 Les Paul. It's still American made. I know Gibson has some issues, quality control here. I pick on them all the time because on the binding, where the neck comes in right here, if you look at the pictures, get on Sweetwater and look right here. You're going to see like little masking marks where the tape bled through. And it's not 1 or 2 of them. It's about 50% of them. It's $2,600 guitar. Now, they have lowered the price of the one guitar. It's like $2,100 now. It's American made. I really can't. I know the cost of labor. I'm going to point it out. But it's still a nice guitar made in the United States at that price point. It's expensive here. Your workers' comp, everything's expensive. So I got to give them credit. They lowered the price of that guitar. Hopefully the Gibson can hold that price point. That's like $400 cheaper than it was 6 months ago. If they can hold that price point on that guitar, I think they can compete with the American product. I mean, I know Kiesel, you're going to be at the $2,000 mark, $2,200. If you go in and build anything at all, you're going to be at $2,000. Now I know you can get on there. You can build a stripped down basic guitar for about $1,800. But if you go in, you put a Floyd on it or a nicer bridge and do a couple little things, you're going to be in the $2,200, $2,300 range. Is the Gibson and Kiesel equivalent? I don't know. I would hope, from what I understand, the Kiesel would be the better guitar. But Gibson makes good stuff too. So it's all relative. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you look at these guitars and the stuff that it's coming with, keep that in mind. Like, I just bought new tuners for this guitar. Does it need it? No. I can always say that. I want to build a hot rodded RGA. Ibanez doesn't offer this guitar in a medium price point. You can get the cheap one, okay, or you can get the Japan made $3,000 one. Well, it's like 2,600. Now, the cheapest one I saw in there was $2,000. No, it's like 19 something. So they don't really have an RGA in the $900 price bracket. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take this guitar, I'm going to put a nice hip shot bridge on it, buy some different pickups, and put some nice Godo tuners on it. So I do have the parts, I just haven't sat down and actually did it. Why did I do it? If Ibanez gave me this guitar with some nice Godo tuners, put me a hip shot bridge on it, and leave these pickups on it, I would have no issues at all paying $750, $800 for that guitar. I wouldn't. Ibanez, build me this guitar with a better bridge, put me some nice alpha pots, or better yet, don't put crappy CTS pots in my guitar. And everyone's like, oh, CTS. I've been working on guitars for a long time. I stopped using CTS because I really think CTS's quality has went to the feel. They feel cheap. They feel cheap. They do. Turn a Barnes pot. Do a push pull on a Barnes pot, then do the push pull on a CTS pot. Click, click, click. The Barnes is just smooth, butter feeling. The CTS is like cheap. It like clicks and pops. Now spin the CTS. You're like, well, it feels nice. Now spin the Barnes. It's on another level. The Barnes is just a better feeling pot. It's a lot of it, guys, is the feel. How does the neck feel? That's what you're touching. When you turn your volume knob, it's a feel that the volume has. Okay? Is the Barnes pot audio taper and all this and the carbon that's on the traces better? I have no idea. Okay? But I know the feel of the pot. When I put something together for a customer and they feel that Barnes pot, they know it's a quality pot. Over the years, CTS has just gotten crappier and crappier feeling. And usually that means cheaper components. So I know a lot of guitar companies now are crowing, we're doing CTS pots. Maybe 20 years ago that would have been great. But now I don't see that as a plus. Give me an alpha pot, and I was like, alpha? I will buy and use alpha pots before CTS.
Yeah. Strat Player says, have you tried any of the Sire Larry Carlton guitars?
Yes, Strat Player. And everyone, if you're old to the channel, you know the story I'm about ready to tell. Linnell and I went to Guitar Center, and I'm bad. I'm a guitar nut, if you can't tell. So I got to set limits to myself. We went in, I said, I'm not going to spend more than $500. I don't care. $500 is my limit. She said, okay. They had an LV7 in there. It was the Sire Les Paul with the P90s. Oh my gosh, that guitar played like butter and it sounded so good. I like P90s. I got a P90 guitar over here with Dylan Talkstone pickups in it. That freaking guitar is stupid. I was like, this guitar is so nice. And it was $550, wasn't it?
I believe so.
So I went up and I said, will you take $500? He said, no, it's $550. And at the time, that guitar was $650 brand new. And I looked at the guy, I said, man, Sweetwater's got this guitar for $650 new. And this guitar, it had some little scratches on it, was used. And he goes, it hasn't been here long enough for us to discount it. And I'm like, dude, I'll give you $500 cash right now. And I'd played it. There's a difference. You can look online, you go, well, it's a nice guitar. But I'd already played it. I knew it was a nice guitar. I knew it sounded good. And they wouldn't budge. And I stuck to my guns. I'm not spending more than five. It was $500 for the price plus tax. So, but if you go and you tell your significant other 500 and you walk out at 550 and you go, oh, you got tax. They don't see it that way. It was 500. So I didn't buy it. I got home.
It wasn't. Hold on. Let's make it clear. It was not my fault.
No, it was
Since
not
you're
Linnell's
mentioning
fault. It was
significant others and stuff.
no. What I was telling the guys was, if you tell your significant other you're only going to spend five, and you buy a $500 guitar, it's not going to be $500 after tax. Then you're going to go home and go. She's going to look at the receipt. Well, you spent $560. Well, it's got tax. So if your $500 cap, you're going to have to be at like $450 before tax. But no, this was not Linnell's fault. I just said I wasn't going to spend more than $500 on a guitar. And you can ask her, as soon as we got home, I was talking about that guitar. The next day, I said, you know what? I was on Sweetwater. I'm looking. It's like, well, maybe I'll get a good one. Maybe I won't. And I'm like, we're going to go this weekend. If that guitar is still there, we're going to buy it. Went back the next weekend. It was gone. And he was right. The guitar wasn't there long enough for them to discount it. And it was there less than a week, maybe 2 weeks, and it sold. Great guitar. I think Sire makes great guitars for the price point. I hear great things about their Telecaster. I hear great things about their Strat. And I've played two of the Les Pauls. I played the P90 and the Humbucker one. Played the Humbucker one at Chuck Levin's. And you're going to laugh, but I played the Sire and the Kramer Assault Plus, the nice one, not the cheaper one, like the $900 Assault with the Floyd Rose 1000 tremolo Seymour Duncan pickups. I sold that guitar to Devastator that's in the chat. So I'm at Washington Music Center, which is Chuck Levin's, very big store, well known. And I go over and I told the guy, so I'm looking for a Sire. And he showed me the Sires, and I'm like playing this thing, like, oh God, this is such a nice guitar. But I'm a tremolo guy. So I'm walking through the store, and there it sits. Here's this Kramer. Everyone knows I got a soft spot for Kramer. It's everything that a Les Paul shouldn't be. Reverse banana headstock, got a Floyd Rose tremolo in it, Seymour Duncan's, everything that would piss off a true Gibson guy, this thing had. I'm like, I gotta play it. And I played it. I was like, oh, this thing's awesome. So I bought the Kramer, and the Kramer was more money than the Sire. But it was just a stupid guitar. I loved that thing. When I first sold it, I missed it because it's such a smack you in the face guitar. The body's cut a little thinner, so it's not as heavy on the Kramer Les Paul versus the Gibson. Because I had both. I had the Alex License Les Paul, and that thing was heavy, but sounded awesome. I did not care for the access joint that they put in the Alex License model because it's chunky right here. Sire's access cut on this is far better than the Epiphone version. But I had the Epiphone and I had the Kramer, and both of them are no longer here. If I had to pick which one, if I was in a bar band playing variety music, I would buy the Epiphone Alex License for one reason. It's capable of producing a lot of different sounds. It has split coils. They're great Seymour Duncan pickups on it. The JB and SH4. You can just get so many different sounds out of that guitar. It's a real working man's guitar. Where the Kramer is more of a hair guitar. It's wired and set up to play rock and roll. There's no, I don't remember if that guitar had coil splits or not. But if it did, it's not the way Epiphone did it. Both great guitars. I think the Kramer played smoother than the Epiphone. And another issue I had with the Epiphone, and it's not anything about Epiphone, since it's such a high arch body and Gibson uses more negative relief on the neck, it seemed like the tremolo stuck out of the body more, and the Kramer fit me better as far as how the neck was to the body and the tremolo. Um, but yeah, I've played a lot of Sires. That's long story. Getting back to the Sires, they're good guitars. Just if you're on the fence, buy it somewhere. If you can't play it, buy it somewhere that definitely has a no question return. Every manufacturer can buy or send you a turd. I hate to say it. We reviewed a PWM 20 here, and I'm not saying they're all bad. The one I received was not good, and it's an Ibanez product. That one got through the plant, and I like Ibanez. That's why I bought it. Linnell's got an S model over here that I love to death, and I wanted an S model with two humbuckers and a zero bridge. The only one they made at the time was the PWM. That was it. It was the Paul Wagner model, and it was $1,500 at the time. Now it's $1,600. Got the guitar in, just too many issues. That's how I ended up. That's how I ended up with the Schecter. Because when I called Sweetwater, they're like, "Well, yeah, I bought that PWM because the body was real pretty on it, and the other two they had there kind of looked yellow, and the grain was ugly." And I'm like, I don't want either one of those two." And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, for your inconvenience and this and that, I can do one of the Schecter Mach 6s and some other guitar. It was like an ESP that I was looking at. And after looking at it, I was like, I'll take the Schecter. And the Schecter was $150 more than the Ibanez, but they ate it and covered all the shipping. Way more than I expected from them. I thought they treated me fair. If you go back and watch, there was a debacle over some of that. I'm not going to beat a dead horse on it, but in the end, Sweetwater did right by everyone, but we did have to kind of nudge them a little bit. But they took care of me, and that's all that counts. That's why I always say build a relationship with your sales engineer or your local store, and you're going to be far better off.
Does your Schecter have a sustainer?
Yes, that the guitar is stupid. It really it's a stupid guitar. The fretwork on the Schecter is really good. I've only played one other factory guitar that I would say the fretwork was just a notch above, and that was the Jackson Virtuoso. They did a double chamfered fret dressing on that guitar. I do a lot of fret dressing, and I'm looking at this Jackson going, this would take me time to do. This was well executed. Whoever did the fretwork at Jackson USA, they did a hell of a job on that. And at the price point, $2,100, I'm looking at this fret job going, yeah, this guitar has some hand time on it. Someone has spent time making sure these frets are right. I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel the back of the neck. Someone took the time and the love and built a very nice American made guitar. Nowadays, guys, I'm telling you, if you want a USA made guitar, my suggestion is you better buy one in the next year, because things are going to get stupid. It's coming. We already see it in these Indonesian guitars. Look at PRS, $2,000 for an import. LTD, they're in the $2,000 range now for an import. Epiphone, they're at $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 for an import. Fender, Mexico, Indonesia. Fender's got some Indonesian guitars. Everyone says they just started doing that. Fender's been making guitars in Indonesia for a while. The FMT's been made in Indonesia for over 10 years. So the Fender standard, that's not new to Fender. They've been doing that a long time. I've got a Fender FMT, great guitar. By the time I bought the case and the guitar, it was about $1,200, $1,250. It's Indonesia. How much more is the labor in the United States? That's my point. I'm not telling you to buy one, but if you do want to scratch that itch and have a quality American guitar, whether the quality's better than Indonesia or Japan, I'm not going down that road. I will say that the Jackson Virtuoso is as good as anything you're going to buy. It's as good as any or Sure or anything else. There's only so much you can do, guys. At some point, you're kind of just buying your dream, if that makes sense. If you've always wanted a Gibson and that's your thing, I get it.
So,
Buy a Murphy Lab.
is the giveaway still on for Saturday?
We really need to, guys. I do have the system fixed, but I'm so far behind. The guitar's down on the bench, and I have not worked on it. So I'll leave it up to you guys. We're supposed to do the guitar giveaway on Saturday. We can do it, but that really pinches me on fixing the guitar in 30 days and getting it out of the house in 30 days. Um, but that's fine. If you guys are willing to accept that it'll take me at least 30 days to do the work on the guitar and get it to you, we'll go ahead and do the guitar giveaway on Saturday. I am a man of my word. I just don't want to do the guitar giveaway and it takes me a month and a half to do the work that the guitar needs. The motto is no guitar is going to leave here unless I feel it's right. And it's a great guitar. It was donated to the channel, okay, for the giveaway. So the channel doesn't have any actual cash in it. I just need to put my time in it and about $100 worth of parts in it. And it's going to be a great guitar. It will be. I just have not worked on it yet. So if you would, we do have a Discord page. If Devastator or Steve want to put the link up, we do have a room. If you guys want to go either in there or something, say just go ahead with the giveaway or put in the chat. That's better. Put it in the chat. Yes, please continue to do the giveaway on Saturday. We'll go ahead and do it. It's one of those things. And next month we're not going to do a guitar because it's every other month. But the next month after that, we already have the next guitar is already technically here. So we have that one lined up already.
Well, you have two people, well, three technically, that said wait.
Wait. Yeah.
And Devastator said we need to see it.
The guitar?
The giveaway guitar, yeah, because you got some new people that.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to go downstairs and get it off the workbench. We can do that. Like I said, I haven't taken it apart yet. Well, I'm behind schedule. So if you're here, please don't leave. I just need to go downstairs to the shop, grab the guitar. This is this month's guitar giveaway. And all you have to do is be publicly subscribed to the channel. Go to Discord, go to the opt-in room and just say, I want in on the free guitar giveaway. And you're entered. It's really simple. Oh, Linnell's going down to get it.
Oh, you're funny.
Guys, I'm telling you, behind anyone, especially music, to have a partner that allows you, especially music's an expensive hobby. To have someone, Linnell really pushed me to start playing again. I've said this story so many times. I was kind of down in the dumps just working. She goes, you need to start playing. And she really turned me back around to playing. So, and she never questions anything. Just a phenomenal woman. So here's this month's guitar giveaway. It's a Washburn. Got a Floyd Rose special on it. And the pickups in this guitar actually sound pretty good. Oh, I was going to play it, but I've already got I did start. So it's not playable. Doesn't have the volume. The pots were pretty corroded. So I was going to go ahead and plug it in and do it for you, but I did start it, but it's not disassembled yet. So what we're going to do, we're putting new electronics in it because the electronics are pretty rough. We're putting new tuners on it. Okay. And I'm going to go through and redress all the frets. And I have been putting the guitar back and forth. And we do have a little spot in the neck right here. So I did put it in the fixture and move it just a little bit. It was in there for 3 or 4 days and I let it go. And it's been sitting on the bench now for about a week. So I think if I put it back in the fixture for about 5 days, I think we can get that out. We are redressing the back of the neck. There's nothing wrong with it, but I can make this neck feel 100% better. And there's people in the chat that can tell you that have felt the dressings. We're not talking about the fret dressing. We're talking about the feel of the neck. After I work on this neck, it's going to really be a sweet neck. This is something you touch when you're playing the guitar. If the back of this neck feels nice, the guitar is going to feel good in your hands. Okay? Visually, this is a beautiful guitar. So when you're looking at it and you feel the back of the neck, this is going to be a playing guitar. It already plays really well. It just needs some tender love and care. I've already put a string tree on it because from the factory they did not use a string tree, and it was really bad. You would tune right here with your new strings, and when you lock this down, it didn't go up 1 or 2 cents. It would go way out of tune when you locked it, because for whatever strange reason they decided not to put a string tree on it, and it's a straight inline neck. See the headstock to the neck? It only has about, oh, look at that. It's very little pitch. Maybe 2 or 3 degrees. So it's not pitched back for the lock nut. It's a very, very strange, peculiar thing Washburn did there. I got the gates cutting it off. But yeah, this is this month's guitar giveaway. So if you guys want to hold off on it, we can definitely hold off on the giveaway. Give me a little bit more time to work on the guitar.
Steve says it's 25 minutes past cocoa time.
Oh, we've been on that long? Oh, yes. And if you're new to the channel, guys, we do take a break. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. That allows people to go to the restroom, get something to drink, which I direly need. Get some snacks. If you're from Australia, you can get a Vegemite sandwich. And I want to thank everyone for coming in. We're really trying to be a different channel here. We're trying to be a place where people come in, talk, BS, be friendly, and talk about their experiences with their guitars, their amplifiers, even their PA systems. It's about anything you can plug this thing into. That's what we want to talk about. Whether it's pedals, volume pedals, mixing boards, effects processors, amps, cabinets, whatever. You see, I got a little mini head, a little Friedman mini head. You got a little mini head and you bought it during Christmas. These things were 99 bucks at Christmas. If you missed that deal, holy mackerel, this little thing sounds awesome. It's a good sounding little amplifier. But that's what we're here to talk about. Anyway, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll continue chatting. And this is also a good time for you guys to post any new topic that you want to go over. Kind of change it up. I am trying to get better at that. Try to go in the direction that you guys are chatting. And this gives me time to actually read the chat and see what you guys are talking about. So we're going to do our 5-minute break. And I'm still working out some of the things, but the break things do work. So give us 5 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay. We did have a question, and I don't remember who put it up, but I was looking.
Ryan.
Ryan. I'm assuming, now, Ryan, if you're still in here, which I hope you are, I'm thinking you're the same Ryan that used to comment on my reviews a long time ago, and YouTube has really changed everyone's name. So I think you're the same person. If you are, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're someone new, welcome. And I'm going to have to give the third heads up. Kurt and Devastator already said it. It's hard to beat the Boss Katana 50 at its price point. I had one, and like a dummy, I sold it. I, we're always trying to. I buy stuff, I sell it, I buy something else for review. Out of all the, let's say, under $400 amps, I'm going to say the Katana just had the best overall sound. And it has built in effects, and the effects work well. And the stock speaker is good. It does really well, and I know for a fact it's loud because we went to a wedding and I had that thing. It was outside on a porch, and no problems whatsoever. Playing that thing out on the porch at this wedding, there was cabins. We were next to the river. You know, a lot of amplifiers get lost outside. The Katana had no problems outside. A lot of them get real thin sounding and very narrow focused. The Katana had a nice spread, sounded good. It really impressed me. And it's not a one trick pony. When I went up to that wedding, I bought my Epiphone Dot, which was my hollow body, and I was playing the hollow body through it. That sounded awesome in it. And the other guitar I took with me, that sounded awesome. So you can get some nice, good, clean sounds out of it, and you get some good dirt sounds out of it. I think the Katana would be the way to go. Let's since we're since we're doing it, we do have the ability to look stuff up. I do have another suggestion, and it may shock some of the people here, but we're gonna look up the Boss Katana. Okay, all right. Here's the Boss Katanas. Right here is the Boss Katana 50. This is the Gen 3. The one I had was a Gen 2. Um, what they've basically done, they've refined the effects and cleaned the amp up a little bit. It's got the same speaker that the version that I had in it. And for 350 bucks, solid amplifier. I can already tell you, this amp right here, this Artist Gen 3, is a stupid good amplifier. It's at $650. Okay. Great amplifier. It's $650 on a solid state. I'm going to put it right up there with one of the better amps you can get. It is a extremely solid amp. Boss has another version of this that's their. It's kind of unknown. Maybe I can find that. They come out with a high end um, amp. Let me see if we can find it. See if I can find that Boss amp. It didn't sell too well because it was very expensive. Let's see if they still make it. One of 2 pages. I'm not seeing it. Oh, right here. This next tone. Guys, I've heard this amp. I know it's $1,000. Before you go, I don't think so. Find one, plug into it. It shocked me how good this amp sounds. It's a great sounding amp. It's Boss. But we were talking about good beginner amps. This is not a beginner amp. It's $1,000. So at the $1,000 price point, I would definitely stick with the regular Katana. That would be my suggestion. Let me get to page one. Did we get back to page one? Oh, I know what it was. I'm on the wrong page again. Oh, it's Katana. Yeah, this amp right here at 350 bucks, it's hard to beat. And what I was saying, the spread the amp has, it has a nice spread outside. A lot of these smaller amps, they just don't have the spread. This has got a 12-inch speaker in it. That really helps it. A lot of small amps, they'll cheat and they'll put a 10-inch speaker in it or an 8-inch speaker, and it just doesn't have a full sound. This is a great, great starter amp. If you want to spend just a little bit more money, the GTX 50 right here. And the reason I'm going to say the GTX 50 is the controls on the top. They're not really giving us a good top view, are they? Oh, look at that. Well, anyway, this knob right here, that's a general knob. What they've done on this particular one, okay, you can, on the Fender, you've got that one knob. So when you turn the knob, it's completely different amplifiers. It's like a modeling amp, and they've modeled a Fender. They've modeled a, you know, a Marshall, and it's got effects. So you turn the one knob, and someone's already pre-programmed your effects, your delay, and the amp it's modeling. Okay, that's an advantage. But you got to go into the menu to make changes. Wherein, if you get the Katana, it's knobs on the top. So if you want to add reverb, you got to click and push a button, and then you got the reverb settings. You can't really just turn one knob and go to a completely different reverb and delay setting and have presets with the Katana. Not a lot of them. The GTX 50 from Fender, there's like 100 presets in that amp. So you can do your own presets, get a floor pedal for it, and just go through your presets. It's something you can grow into, and you're only spending about $70 more, and it has good sounds on it. And again, it's got a 12-inch speaker. Those would be the two. I know they said Spark. I can't say anything about the Spark because I've never played a Spark. But for the money, at $419, the Fender, let's go back to that. This Fender amp is a heck of a buy for $419. Just simply because it has the presets, and you turn one knob, you can go from a Marshall to like a Fender Twin Reverb or a Vox sounding amp, and you can dial in. You want delay, you want some reverb, you want some chorus. You can set all that up. You don't need any pedals. That's the advantage to these amps. That stuff's built into the amplifier. But these amps take pedals too, you know, but all that's in it. So instead of having, well, I'm going to get a reverb pedal, I'm going to get a flanger pedal, an amp like this has all that in it. So for a beginner amp, and you're trying to play songs that you hear on the radio, or you can get close to those tones just by buying the amp. You can do that as well with the Katana, but keep in mind, you don't have presets per se that's been pre-written. Now, I will say this on the GTX 50, and I don't know why manufacturers do this. I guess they want to show off how much of something you could put in it. I would say half the presets in there are these real weird sounds for goofing off. But there's at least 50 nice, usable sounds with delays, reverbs, and cleans, and crunch sounds, and medium distortion, some high gain stuff. So those are my two picks. I can already tell you. Let's go back. Let's go back to this display. I can already tell you we are buying one of these amplifiers. Oh, they don't even have it. We're getting this amplifier. Now, I know it's a little more money, but when you get this amplifier, it comes with the foot switch. Okay, the foot switch is $100. So in reality, you're only paying about $15 more for the amp. So if you want the foot switch and you want to be able to sit in your chair with the foot switch and not have to lean over, this is a heck of a buy. It's got the foot switch. Linnell wants this amp. We've already played through it. It's a phenomenal sounding amp. She wants something where she can go from a clean sound. She could turn one knob and go right to a Marshall sound. Turn the knob again and get space reverb clean. Turn the knob again. It's all preset. Or she can hit this little button. She can pre-program what she wants, push one little button and automatically go to a certain preset, or turn off the delay or turn off the distortion. And you can do that. You can do that with the 50. Okay? But here's the 50 at $419. Well, here's the pedal is $86. So by the time you put $90 on this, it's kind of just get the 100. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. But we are getting a GTX 100 for Linnell. It seems to have some really good sounds, and for how she wants to use it, she doesn't want to play with the, how much reverb it has. Do I want chorus? Do I want to do this? I don't want to sit and fiddle with the effects. I just want to turn a knob. Ooh, I like that sound. I'll play something. Oh, I like that one. It's already pre-programmed. But as she gets better, she can get in there and go, I want to turn the delay down and I want more reverb. Or I'm going to put a little more gain. I like this preset, but it needs more. So she can get in there and she could turn up the gain and hit save. She's modified a factory preset to her liking. You might get in there and go, oh, that's too much reverb. Just turn the reverb down and it's a perfect sound for you. So those are the two that I would say. If you're on a budget, I get it. The $419, it gives you everything without the foot controller. It's really what you're looking for, if that makes sense. If I had to buy, if I had $420 to spend maximum between the Katana and the Fender, I would probably get the Fender. Simply because I think the Fender has a broader range of effects, where the Katana, it's kind of like reverb, modulation, and delay. But you can't have. There are certain things you can have, but you can only have those three. I think it's either 2 or 3 things at one time. In the Fender, you can have more. You can have a flanger, a delay, a chorus, a compressor. You can have more crap in your signal path if you choose to do it. So neither one have a foot switch. So if you can go to 420, maybe go to the Fender. And if you can swing it, the GTX 100, that would be a great first amp. And it's an amp that you won't have to get rid of. You really won't. Even if you get another amplifier, if you start playing out, that GTX 100 will definitely play out live. It's loud. It'll definitely, but let's say you want to get a different amplifier. There's no reason to get rid of the Fender. It's a solid amp. And I would say the exact same thing with the Katana. The Katana's a solid amp. If you get a better amp, there's really no need to get rid of the Katana. That's a good practice amp for your house. If you get in a band, keep the Katana there and keep your other amp where you practice or in another room. It's not, they're both good amps. I don't think that you could go wrong with either amp. That's just my point. I will say this, before someone talks you in to a Line 6 Catalyst, the factory speaker is okay. From what I understand, a lot of people have had a lot of success changing out the driver, and it really brings the amp to life. The drawback is the Catalyst is in about the same price point. Let me go back and see what the Catalyst is actually selling for now. there was a time when the Catalyst, they were blowing them out. So here's the Catalyst. It's a 12-inch driver. And it's a little cheaper than the Katana. It's just, in my opinion, doesn't sound as good as the Katana. And I think the reason is that right there. The factory speaker just isn't much. I'm not saying the Katana factory speaker is all that in a bag of donuts, but it's better than this one. And from what I've heard, people have had really good success changing the driver in this and really making this amp come to life. That one's 302. You know, is it a bad deal? I don't think it's a bad. It's still a solid amplifier. I just don't. I think if you're at the 350 price mark and you got to pick, buy the Katana. That's just my opinion on it. They don't really have anything else in that price point. This CX100 is about the same thing. I hear the exact same thing on it. It's a speaker issue. I've heard really good things about the CX100. Upgrading the speaker, again, the amplifier comes to life. That's really all. That's really all it is. The Katana just outsells everybody, and it outsells because it's a good bang for the buck. I mean, you go to Sweetwater, look at other reviews. Everyone talks the amount of amps in that price bracket being sold. Katana probably sells 4 to 1 over everybody.
How about used amps?
If you want to get a used amp, I mean, it's open, and that's really in your market. I bought this Egnator right here for $350. This is a far better amp than the Katana, but there's just reverb. So you got to take that in mind. This is a far better amp if you plan on growing in, maybe buying some pedals, because it's got an effects loop. You know, you can do a lot more with it. It's a tube amplifier, not solid state. So, you know, completely different animal. But you can find these. Take your time. If you want to spend $400 and get an Egnator, you know, or something else like that, that's the way to go. But keep in mind, if you want chorus, flanger, and all these things, these amps don't have that. So you're going to have to go out and buy pedals. So that increases the amount of money that you're spending. My suggestion on the Fender GTX and the Katana is you're going to buy that amp, and it has all that stuff in it. Even the Katana, being limited to 3 effects, you can still get some Eddie Van Halen sounds out of it. You can get some George Lynch sounds out of it. You can get, you know, whatever music you listen to, you can get pretty close. You know, the modulation, you can pick phaser or flanger, or you see what I mean? If you're into Van Halen, this amp, you can't do that. If you want to get that phaser sound or flanger sound or something, you're trying to do Eruption or some other Van Halen thing, you're going to need to buy a phaser pedal. You know, or George Lynch. You want that George Lynch sound, you're not getting it without a chorus pedal. You're just not. You're not going to get it without a chorus pedal. So you got to get a chorus pedal. But I can tell you, this amplifier with a chorus pedal and this little guy right here, I don't remember what I paid for it. Oh, see? Support your local music store. Thank you, Shenandoah Music. $80. This is a stupid, good little delay pedal. It's analog and digital. It's the NuX Edge delay. And what you do is you hold down the button and you go from analog to digital, and they sound completely different. A lot of times it's like I can't really tell the difference. These sound completely different. It's 3 knobs. It's simple. This little pedal in that Egnator with the factory reverb sounds stupid good. Now, I have a Yo-Yo chorus. Not too good. I did try that in it. But the Yo-Yo chorus, it's a $30 pedal, and it introduced a lot of noise. So if I was going to do the Eddie Van Halen thing, I'd get the MXR pedal, the Eddie Van Halen, use this as the delay, the factory reverb, and I tell you, I could nail a Eddie Van Halen tone on channel 2 of that Egnator. The gain channel in that thing is stupid. Is it high gain? No. You're not going to be playing Smashing Pumpkins or, something like that. It's not the grunge tone. It's not a rectifier tone. But you can definitely get the 80s hair sound out of it. Another advantage to the Egnator is the clean. It's got a phenomenal reverb. The spring tank on that really sounds good. It's got a nice shimmery sound to it. The clean sounds awesome. So if you want to go down that road, you find yourself a nice Egnator, you could do that. There's so many to pick from. And like it depends on your area. Sometimes like we get on Marketplace, it's like, man, if I had $400, I'd go buy that amplifier. And it depends if someone got something new and it's just sitting in the corner, they put it on Marketplace and it's like, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. Sometimes you can find stupid deals. I've said it a bunch of times. Buying used, you save a lot of money. You do. You really do. If you can find these guitars, like Linnell, she bought one of these in blue. Someone bought it at Shenandoah Music, had it 3 months, and decided they wanted a different guitar. She went into Shenandoah Music. We thought it was a brand new guitar. They saw it's used. I'm like, what? They said, yeah, it's only like 200. I don't remember. It was dirt. We stole the guitar. We thought it was new. I was going up to buy it as a new guitar. And when they told us the price, I'm like, okay, here, take my money.
I think it was like $250.
Was it $250?
I think so.
Yeah, like $250. Stupid price. $250 for that all day long. All day long. So you can find katanas too. Get on Marketplace. What I saw with the katanas, $150 used. You should be able to get one easy, a Boss Katana 50. Like maybe a Gen 2, you might even be able to find a Gen 3 for $150. I don't know if Linnell, just type in Marketplace on in our area. See if Boss Katana comes up. I think I sold mine for $100. It was a Gen 2 because the Gen 3 just come out. Everyone's like, oh, is it a Gen 3? I'm like, no, it's a Gen 2. I think I sold it for $100. So if you can go the used route, you could definitely get a Katana much cheaper. But if you're willing to spend $350, there's probably a lot of options out there. I'm not a big Vox fan, but Vox.
There's a Boss Katana 50 Gen 3 for $275.
$275. That's still cheaper.
Boss Katana 50 Mark II for $275.
I don't think you'll get $275 for that.
Here's a Boss Katana MK2 for $200.
There you go. That's $200. That, I mean, it's really up to you. The big thing is make sure you can play it. I would definitely go to Guitar Center. If there's a Guitar Center near you, big cabinets like this, they get traded in, you can get stupid deals at Guitar Center. And the only reason I'm saying used at Guitar Center, if you take it home and you see that there's a problem, once it gets warm, you can ask Steve in the chat. He bought a used amplifier. I think it was through Guitar Center. And it sounded great. But once it got hot and warm, it started doing some weird stuff. So he went back in and said, look, this thing gets warm. It does this. And Steve said, I'll take the amp, but not at what I paid for it. So he's got it dirt cheap. I think he took it home and fixed it. But the advantage to that is even if you can't fix it, you get it home and it's a tube amp and it gets hot. Let's say the transformer's not right. And it gets hot and it starts breaking up and doing weird stuff. You find the tubes aren't any good. Oh, I bought the amp for $250, but I got to put three 12AX7s in it and two 6L6 tubes. That's $250 for
Steve,
just tubes.
Steve
You know,
said
like it's not worth that.
Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 3 tube amp 285.
Oh my gosh. That's a, I would do that. That's a nice, but again, you got to put pedals with it if you want that sound. That's a nice amp. And you got to watch, like that Fender amp there, you know, that's going to be more toned to like crunch and country and stuff like that. I had a Fender Twin, and I tried for years to get a heavy metal sound out of it. The amp's not voiced, and it was never designed to do that. But it's awesome at, you know, chicken picking, and it's good for southern rock with light distortion with some pop. Then the twin reverb was good. So it's really what you're wanting to do. Another good used amp, if you can find one, is a PV Classic 50. It's got two 12s in it. You should be able to find one of those for 350, 400. Those things are freaking bulletproof. You could kick them out of the back of a semi truck going down the interstate at 75. Plug it in, it's still going to work. It might be beat up looking. Those are a little bit older amps, but it's got two great, I think they're Blue Marble drivers, great amplifiers, and they take pedals well. So you can buy something like that. Just keep up your maintenance. You know, I find, and the tube guys are going to holler, I can usually get 10 years out of a set of 6L6s. I use them till they're red plated and dead. It's kind of up to you, but you should be able to get a good 10 years solid use out of those tubes. Going that route, the PV Classic 30, they made a single 12, but those are actually, believe it or not, I think those usually sell for more money than the 212 ones. You might even be able to find a PV Classic 50 410 that had four 10-inch drivers. But again, that's going to be more suited for chicken picking, maybe some light crunch. It's going to be a different sounding amplifier, if that makes sense. I don't have any real, I've played rack mount amps pretty much my whole life. I can't give you too many options. Kurt, Devastator, I don't have the chat open. There's so many people in here that give you advice on a lesser expensive tube amplifier on Marketplace. There's the world's the option, man. If you buy something nice, you should put it to you. If you buy something like that, let's say you buy that Fender tube amp Steve just talked about. If you pay that for it and you have that amp for 2 years, I guarantee you can sell that amp for exactly what you paid for it. That's the difference. That's a little tube amplifier. It's not going to lose any more value. It's only going to go up in value. Where if you buy that Katana, the new, you're going to lose. If you buy that PV Classic 50 212, I guarantee you next year that amp's going to be worth more money. And the following year, and the following year, and the following year.
Steve just put PV Classic 212 550.
That's a little steep, mate, but that's why I'm saying it's depending on your area. We see them a lot here, and I keep telling Linnell, I'll see one for 350, and shoot, she makes a note. She knows I'm looking for one. Here's a Classic 50 212. Well, the last one you found was a 410, wasn't it? They wanted 400 for it?
I think so, yeah.
I wanted that amplifier. It was the 410 model. You better be Hulk Hogan to pick this thing up, because it's 4 10-inch speakers and the head, 2-channel head, all in one box. It's basically picking that thing up with the head mounted on it. And I'm like, oh, I should go get that, because I don't have an amp with 10s, and the 410, it's just got a different sound. So I'm thinking, well, I got the Egnator, I get this thing. It's already got a great reverb. It's a little bit different sounding amplifier for when I want to play something different. I didn't get it, but we've seen a couple of them. There was a 212 model for like 350 a couple months ago, and it looked really good. I didn't get that one. I've been saving up. Everyone, I just got a wing rack, and I've been trying to not buy because I got to fix some things here on the channel. So it's kind of limited. You just keep your eye out on Marketplace. Those deals will come up. They will. And if don't insult them, but look, at your area. Start paying attention. If you see a good one come up and it seems a little high for what you feel it is, make them an offer. Don't insult them because then they're gonna get upset. But if it's a reasonable offer and the guy wants to sell it and he's tired of, is this still available? You might go, you know what? If I get one more, is this still available? Click. This guy just offered me 350. I wanted 4. Come get it. I'm tired of saying yes, it's still available. Yes, it's still. You never know. That's the only issue we have when we list guitars on there. Is this still available? And then they never get back to you. They just push the button on the marketplace.
Or they want to trade up for something that is cheaper.
That we get more. Are you into trades? I've got this. I've got that. And there's 50,000 emails back and forth, and then you realize, don't need something else. We review products here. I'm told you what I have is brand new. It was bought, reviewed. Now we're just trying to move it on to get something else. Well, I got this guitar. I'll give you these two, or I've got this guitar. It's the same value. I'll switch it. It's constant. So a lot of times, if you just say, look, send them an email or send them a thing on market. I'm serious. I will give you this for it. As long as I can come there and plug it in and the amplifier is good, I'll bring cash. You'd be surprised. As long as it's a fair offer, I would love responses like that. And I've had people come. The 2 people that came to my house, I've sold instruments to before, and I didn't mind them coming here, but I usually meet outside. That's the issue with the amplifier. It's hard to test it. So you're going to have to go to their house, make sure it works, go through all the settings, turn the tone, turn the mid, turn the low, plug into the high, low impedance input, double check the speakers, and if you can, try to turn it up. And when you get there, when you're done playing, leave it on. Talk. Let the amp get good and warm. Steve will tell you why. When you get there, first thing you do, turn it on. Then talk, go through it, play it, leave it on for at least 15, 20 minutes, especially if it's tube. Make sure there's no issues, then make something happen.
BTM says, I see the Pro Valve in the rack. Is that a quadriverb at the top?
I do have a quadriverb. Quadriverb's in that rack over here, right there. My quadriverb's in my SWR bass amp. Basically everything that's in this rack, the very top of the rack, I have multiple microphones. Why am I struggling? The very top of the rack, that is a line 6 relay that has been modified with the sped spectrum technology. So it jumps frequencies. That's my wireless. The very next unit underneath that, right there, that is a Synergy SYN2 dual module rack mount. I have the Friedman BEDLX on the left and the Sedano SLO module on the right. Below that, the hot pink and black unit right here, that is an Applied Research Technology SGX 2000 Express with the latest firmware update and EEPROM chip. Below that, the little silver unit right there is a Audio Media Research inline tube amp. It uses 3 12AX7s, and it just adds some sweetness to the signal. Below that is a 362 BBE Sonic Maximizer. And then below that is my Pro Valve 6. It uses 6L6 tubes. There's 4 6L6 tubes in it. And that is my guitar rack. The units that you see up top, that unit right there is a Yamaha P7000 PA power amp. That is my redundant backup. This is an Applied Research SGX 2000 Express. Well, that one's not an Express, but it is an Express. It has the upgraded chip. And there's another Audio Media Research rack mount inline tube amp. So it's not a tube amp like what you're thinking. Okay. It was designed originally to, it was originally designed for ADAT recording. ADAT recording sounded really harsh, so they wanted to make it warm because digital, when it first came out, just had a really digital fake sound to it. So a lot of companies were making these tube line amps. That's what it is. It's a tube line amp, and it would warm. It actually has warm sweetness, and that was to color the signal and give it warmth, to take that digital sound out. I found putting it in the effects loop would also work with some of your 16-bit effects that got that digital sound. You could warm and color your tone a little bit and use it as a tone shaping tool. If you plug your guitar into this, right into an amplifier, it's really hard to tell the difference. But if you have any processing going on in your effects loop, you put this on the back side of your effects loop, this one and this one, and it really, it adds warmth and definition to that harsh digital sound. Now, a lot of the newer effects sound much better. This is a very old, 30-year-old 16-bit processing. Yeah, hon.
Are all those amps the ones that you use during your rocker days of gigging?
Yeah, this amp is what I used. Other than the Synergy, I did not have the Synergy rock mount module. So where that module is right there, I had a Sabian RT1600 rack mount tuner. This is my stage rig, but I didn't have the Synergy unit. Now, I will say this unit, this Applied Research Technology unit, has the modification from, I think it was something electromagnetic engineering. Whoever was doing the ADA MP1 twin tube mods, they modified this unit, and it uses two 12AX7s now. From the factory, it only used one. This one up here is not modified. That one is stock. It only has one 12AX7. So if you go back and watch my Leo James reviews, I think the last monsoon, I did a lot of reviews using this art. It's a good sounding unit. I know Kurt now just vomited in his chair. Some people had bad experience with ART. That one's 30 years old. I never had a problem with it. And it's been beat up and ruin torn. And it does have issues. The Art had issues with some of the delays and reverbs having a funny sound. Again, that's where this line tube amp comes in. I fixed a lot of that and got a lot of that harshness out by using that line amp. And people go, "You're not running an Art." Oh yeah, I am. I got an Art. Well, yours, right. I got a workaround. Digitech just did it a little better. Their reverb and their delay was just better. So when they come out with the Artisan, the 2101, the 2112, that unit, the processing side was far better sounding. The drawback was, even though that they were twin tube 12AX7, they just didn't have what the Art had. The Art, you could stack 3 gain stages. I could use, well, it was 2 from the factory. I could use the solid state preamplifier and then push that right into the tube section of the amplifier. The way this one's done, I can use the solid state almost like a TS9, but it's a solid state preamp, drive the preamp section of the tube section, and then that other tube is overdriving the first tube, just like they did in the MP1s. So it's got a nice distortion. Um, but I played this out for a long time. That is my stage rig, and this was my stage cabinet, and that's a PV Butcher cabinet from I think about 82, 83. It's loaded with Celestian greenbacks, and I no longer have the PV Butcher head. I wish I did. I thought about that the other night. Last time I was really thinking, I was like, whatever happened to that head? I don't know if I sold it. I may have given it away to our lead guitar player a long time ago. He was using a PV Triumph head. I don't remember if I gave it to him or if I gave that or sold it. I just don't remember. I wish I had that amplifier back. Um, it wasn't my cup of tea. It was really good at like light southern rock and stuff like that. And I really wasn't into that sound back then. But now I wish I had that amp because I think it would be really cool to gain that thing up and get that Molly Hatchet kind of distortion, if that makes sense. Before Molly Hatchet really turned up the gain, that earlier Molly Hatchet Southern grunge type thing, the Butcher was good at that sound, but it couldn't get the '80s hair sound. It was just too flubby sounding. But yeah, that's my little rig, and it still works. I still love my rig. I did add the Synergy because I wanted different modules. And if I get another module, I have the old Sedano Slow. So the EQ is the same on both channels. Each module, that's a 4-channel unit. Um, so the Slow has 2 channels, but the new one, it has a separate EQ in each channel. This one shares the EQ. But I wouldn't change it. I do think I want the new Marshall module for it. And supposedly there's another module coming out for Synergy that's supposedly stupid good. So I'm kind of hoping it's going to be an Engel Fireball or something like that. There's been a lot of hush hush. It was supposed to be released at NAMM, but the company hasn't signed off on it. So that's the advantage. Like this Friedman module, Dave Friedman has said, yes, this is a Friedman. And there's royalties paid. And what's nice also about this, if you notice, most of the modules are the exact same price. They're trying to keep a level playing field, but each company, like Sedano, Friedman, they have to sign off on it and say, yes, we approve of this and you can use our name. This sounds like a Sedano. This sounds like a Friedman. And they help develop the module. So it's not like Synergy is just going out and going, okay, here, sign it. No, Dave Friedman said, no, I want to look at this circuit. I want this modified. I want that modified. They build the prototype. They send it to him. He listens to it. Yeah, that's a Friedman. But they're involved in it. So I can't afford a $5,000 or a $4,000 Friedman head and a $3,500 Sedano head, and I can't afford all that. But I can get the Synergy rack and buy a $400 module, and I can have a Friedman. I can have a Sedano. I can have a what is that? That 6505 PV. They make the PV module. They worked with PV on it. It's a PV module. Every one of them. They got the Mesa Boogie Mark IC2 or whatever it is. They claim that's a good module. I'm not a big Mesa Boogie fan, but they claim it's a good module. But I definitely am interested in the new Marshall module. Everyone I've talked to say it's stupid good. I don't know. I haven't. The only thing I've heard is YouTube. Philip McKnight did a review and played with one a little bit, and the guy over in Australia, I forget that guy's name. He tinkered with one. I like his reviews. He seemed to like it, and those two guys are pretty straight shooters, so it must be pretty decent. And Marshall's picky, so they were willing to put their name on it. So That's definitely a way to go. If I was doing a professional rig and I wanted to go tubes nowadays, that would definitely go with the SYN2 because you're going to have four channels. I would pick whichever high gain module you want, whether it's the Sedano or the Z or the whatever. Put that on one side and put the basement on the other side. That'll give you some really nice cleans, some really high gain stuff. Get yourself a nice power amp, a nice rack mount effects unit. If you want to go rack, there's pros and cons to both. A lot of people are like, why would you put all that money in it? I'll just get a new stadium. Before you go out and buy a new stadium, a lot of people are having problems with those things. Um, they'll just start squealing all of a sudden, and the only fix is to shut it off and turn it back on. So before you buy a stadium, I would wait a couple months, let Line 6 work the bugs out of that. So it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. But they kind of pushed the release on that. Now they're out in people's hands and people are using them professionally. They do have some quirks, just like the wing rack. I've been hearing reports that, this thing can lock up. It's done it to me once where the wing rack logo comes up on the front. You can't touch anything. It's dead. It's on and it doesn't stop working. But if you want to make an adjustment, you're locked out. The only way to fix it is you got to shut it off. It's happened to me once or twice. So, and I had it on for hours and hours and hours and feeding back because I couldn't figure out the output. So I was kind of abusing it. This thing's had a hard 2 weeks. The idiot here was making it do some bad things. The poor dog was scared to death the one day because I'd hit a channel and I had the sliders wrong and I thought I was rooting over here and I'd go to a full max channel and the amplifier was, I finally learned and turned my gains back to 25% on the amp. Just so if I did hit the wrong button, I didn't blow the dog's eardrums out. So just keep all that in mind. I don't even know where I was going with that. I start talking. Nothing's perfect. I guess that's what I'm saying. I will say that I had great luck with every piece of equipment in this rack. And if I didn't have good luck with it, I bought a Line 6 Express. The very first rack mount module Line 6 had. It felt funny under my fingers. And at the time, I was the rhythm guitar player and probably the best band I ever played in. And it had come out, and I wanted to replace my art because the Digitech had already come out, and everyone was talking about this new Line 6. It was going to blow the Digitech away. I bought it, and I felt disconnected to it. And it come to find out the lead guitar player quit. For once in my life, I became the lead guitar player in this band. I'm not a lead guitar player, but I was the lead guitar player in this band. And the sound guy, because he already knew the songs, I said, well, back there, that dude back there knows the music. He's the sound guy. And I'm like, well, you guys don't pay attention. He's back there with a guitar every week.
Mr. Fat says, what's Avery's view on buying a cheapo amp like $150 like this and changing out the stock speaker for like a good one like Jensen? Does this make sense on a budget? Those cheapos have bad speakers.
I would just look used, man. I really would. For you got $150, you should be able to buy something. Okay, on a cheap amplifier, we're talking cheap amplifier. You know, everyone's gonna have a different opinion of just a crappy amp. If you change the speaker, it may sound a little better, but it's still a crappy amplifier. I hate to say that. You might be better off maybe saving your pennies and doing what I said. You can find, like right here, you can find, it's called a tweaker, an Egnator tweaker. I've seen those as cheap as $200. It's a good little amp. Just start looking around. Pay attention. A lot of people, have these older heads. You just got to look around. Crate, Crate actually, believe it or not, made some pretty nice heads and cabinets. That stuff's sitting around. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. If it's a bad amplifier, I don't think I would. A decent speaker is at least $50, $60 for a decent speaker. If you think it's a 12-inch speaker and you think you can use it in the future, great. Buy it and go, okay, I'm going to put it in this cabinet. And maybe a year down the road, I'm going to buy a 112 combo and I'll have my Mojo Tone speaker I just bought. I can just transfer it over to my other amp. Then I don't think you're losing any money. But if you think you're going to buy that and then all of a sudden the amp's going to sound decent, I would say no. Um, everything builds on everything, if that makes sense. Your amp is only as good as the weakest part of the amp. I can have all $1 million equipment. If I put one crappy piece of equipment in it that makes a lot of noise and sounds like poo, it's going to make everything else have noise and make it sound like poo. It's hard. I didn't buy that overnight. I played out for a long time. I started out with an SGX Mach 2. No, it was an SGE Mach 2. And that was a solid state preamp with digital effects. And I ran that into a Hafler DH500. I know what you guys are saying. So you're a lunatic. Yeah, you're right. I was a lunatic. And I ran it into that cabinet. But I already had the butcher head and cabinet. So what I did, I bought the SGX Mach 2. I ran that into the butcher head for a long time. And it didn't play well with it. Coming into the SGE Mach 2, ran my guitar into that, come out of the output into the input of the butcher head. It worked. It did, but it was not ideal. So as soon as I was free and the band started moving stuff around, we had a free power amplifier. It turned out that it was a DH500. I just threw a dart. I went right out of the SGE, right into the Hafler, into that enclosure. It sounded better, less noise. It just worked. And I just started building from there. Once I bought the SGX 2000, that's when I actually started building my rig. I ran that amp through the Hafler as well. The Pro Valve come later. Just like the BBE 362 come later. The wireless come later. But my core unit, when I really was in a decent band and wanting decent sound, was the SGX into that Hafler 500. And I just started, repurpose. I pulled the Hafler out. It went back to the PA when I got the Pro Valve. And people would laugh at me. So, oh my God, you got a PA Hafler DH500 rack mount power amplifier on your, you're gonna blow us out of here. And I'm like, I got the gains at 50% and the volume's on like a quarter. It's different. Tube power and solid state power is different. So that Hafler DH500 at 50% is about like a 120 watt Marshall head. It's still stupid loud, but it's not 500 watts loud like you're thinking like a tube amp. It's a little different.
You have a Bradley's backstage that just came in. He says, "Hey man, first time I've heard of your channel, but thought you'd like to know. YouTube placed this live stream in front of me. Pretty cool. Keep on keeping on."
Thanks, man. We're trying to get to new people. We've been doing this for a little over 3 years now, and this live is about everyone you see in the chat. I'm just talking, and someone asked earlier, hey, what's a good, beginner amp? Kurt, Devastator, and a couple others, they gave their opinion. That's what it's about. We're all guitar players. We just want to come in here and hang out and talk stuff. It's more than just guitars, because you have problems doing the stream. And I've learned so much doing the stream, changing microphones, changed my mixing console. You learn when you play out, but you're the guitar player. You're like, I got to get this right or this right and this right. Now that I'm doing YouTube, now I gotta get the mic right. I gotta get the camera right. These are little journeys, and a lot of times Kurt's got a built. He's got an awesome studio at his house. He'll say, "Hey man, try this." And Steve, he's like a computer guru. You know, there's so many people that reach out and give help. You know, we got people like Birdman. Um, I forget. There's been other people send me guitars. I knew Birdman. I'm saying Birdman because he's the last person that did it. Steven just sent a guitar to give away to you guys. I mean, the people that watch the channel and subscribe, it's a freaking awesome group.
All right, Strat Player says, "What's the story on that surf green Black Star amp back there?"
The story, it smoked. uh, I wish it wasn't. It made it a year and 3 months and blew up. Steve says it's probably a MOSFET. It was a great sounding amp. It's an HT 2.0. I loved the way it sounded. I don't have that many irons on that amp. I used it for demos, and I plugged a guitar in it. I hit a chord, it went, "Er," and then if you turn it all the way up and you put your head down to it, you can hear the guitar signal, but there's no amplification. And it's a tube amp. I don't know. I loved it. I went to the store and I played into it. And they said, "Well, we'll go in the back and get you one." I said, "No, I want this one." And the guy goes, "Well, you just said it was ugly." I said, "Yeah, it is ugly. It's the ugliest green I've ever seen." And he goes, "Well, I'll go in the back and get you a black one." I said, "No, I want this one." I played through this one. This one sounds good. I want this amp. And the guy looked at me and said, "I know it's ugly. It's so ugly, it's cute." So I bought the green ugly one. But I loved the way it sounded. And there again, guys, that's the experience I had. My other Black Star, it didn't blow up. I had a Black Star modeling amp. It was a Silverline. And if you go back and watch some of our reviews, it'll sit in front of my rack. I thought it sounded funny, so I ended up selling it. So I'm kind of hit and miss on Black Star. I've had one that didn't fail, but I didn't play it that much, and one I didn't play that much that did fail. It depends on who you talk to. Some people say that they beat the tar out of them and they've never had a problem. Then other people claim that the SMDs, these little micro components, and no one works on it. I will say this, trying to find an authorized Black Star service center, good luck. There is very little support for Black Star service center wise in the United States. Authorized if there's a warranty problem. So keep that in mind. We know because we hunted. The nearest one from me is about 3.5 hours away. So that's just my results on it. I know a couple people that have them and they haven't had any problems with them. Maybe I got a bad one. But yeah, that's the story. That's Black Star right there. This amp right there, that's my bass amp. That's an SWR. And that's my Egnator. And then up there, I got a little BE Mini, little Friedman. You can't see it, but this cabinet right here that this guitar is on, this is a PV Penta, and it has the Celestion Penta drivers in it. And then the cabinet back here, that's a Stage Right cabinet from Amazon, and it has two Celestion V30s in it. And of course, my PV's got greenbacks in it. So I don't have a head technically for this one. I did plug the Friedman Mini into it. The Friedman Mini sounds awesome on this cabinet, and it really sounds stupid good on this Penta cabinet. I like it better on this open back. This 4-speaker Penta cabinet's an open back 412. It sounds really good on that cabinet. And again, when I use the effects in front through the loop, it's got an effects loop on it. That little Friedman Mini sounds pretty good. If you were one of the fortunate people to catch that on sale for $99, it's a cool little head. And again, someone was talking about amps. I mean, if you can find that again for 99 bucks, I know Stage Right makes a little 112 cabinet. I've seen that go on sale for Amazon for 169. There you go. Little Friedman Mini. Put it on top of that little V30 112 cabinet. That'd be a kick butt little amp. I mean, could you go out and play out live with it? Probably not. But that'd be a kick butt little living room amplifier. It's got an effects loop out, add some pedals to it. You know, I I think I would love playing something like that. Especially when I was first starting out. My first amp was a piece of junk. I made a deal with my dad that if I actually paid off my Gibson, which he never thought I would, he'd go out and buy me a real amplifier. And I never forget when I brought that Gibson home, he was like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna have to buy him a real amp." I didn't know any better. I bought a Fender. I had him buy me a Fender Twin Reverb. The wrong amplifier for this guy, but it was a good amplifier. I didn't know any better. We didn't have YouTube. It didn't. I was too young to go to concerts. I'm like, well, he goes, "What do you want?" I said, "How about a Fender?" So he goes to the store. What's a good Fender amp? They said Twin Reverb. Okay, so I got a Fender Twin Reverb, all tube, and JBL speakers in it. It's a great amp. Just wasn't a great amp for this guy. It happens. We all learn. But again, I would love to have that Fender Twin Reverb back. That's the stupidest amp ever created for clean. That thing is so ungodly loud, and it stays clean at all volumes. And the reverb and the chime, the reverb that the Fender Twin has, there's no other amp in the world ever made like a Fender Twin.
Strat Player says, "What preamps and effects do you have in that rack?"
This one, that's an SGX 2000. That's my main preamp. And then underneath that is a line tube amp made by Audio Media Research. And then I have a 362 BBE Sonic Maximizer. So I don't really have like a TCE Electronics or an Alesis. I'm using this has two preamplifiers in it. This is what I used out live. But I've since updated. I'm running the Synergy rack mount module now with the Friedman and the Sedano unit. I never actually had a separated effects unit. I went from the SGE right to the SGX. So, like my Studio 200s, my Alesis Mini Verb, my Quadra I got a couple others in here. They never actually migrated over to my guitar. There was no purpose for it. The SGX, you can run like 12 effects back to back. So there wasn't any need for me to have a separated multi-effects processor. It was my preamp and my effects all in one, if that makes sense. So that's what I use. I mean, you could do that. Like now, I don't technically need the SGX. I got the Synergy module. So what I've been thinking about doing is pull the SGX and maybe take my MIDI Verb 4 and drop in it and see what the Sedano and stuff sounds like through the MIDI Verb 4. The MIDI Verb 4, I think that's a 24-bit module. That was one of the last ones they made. I think it's either 20-bit or 24-bit. It's better than the art. So I might do that one day. I might just change my signal path and use the effects loop in the Synergy, go into the Alesis Quadra Verb 4, then into the BBE, and just eliminate the line the line tube amp, because I won't need it because the effects in the Alesis is better. I'll try it that way and see what it does. You just got to experiment. Nowadays, you can get decent effects processors pretty cheap, especially the older units. There's certain ones you can't afford to buy, but there's some of them out there, like the Mini Verb 4. You should be able to pick up a mint one for $150. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I would say $150, $200 for one in mint condition. I I couldn't imagine paying any more than that for it. The quadriverbs. The only issue with the quadriverb is before anyone goes out and buys a quadriverb or quadriverb 2 or quadriverb GT, it has a proprietary power plug on it. So when you see one that says missing power supply, I don't have the power supply out. It looks like a DIN plug that plugs in the back. If it doesn't have the power supply, don't buy it, because it's a very peculiar little. It's like a wall wart with this big transformer with this DIN plug that powers the unit. So keep that in mind before you buy a quadriverb. It does have a proprietary power supply. Could that be changed? It's power. It's got to be hot, neutral, ground. I don't know why it's on a DIN pin. I have no idea. Someone else that might know can put that in the chat. I'll go ahead and buy them. All you got to do is switch the terminal. I don't know. I just know if it doesn't have it, a regular power supply will not plug into it to power it up. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I want to check the time, because if you don't know, this is not my full-time job. I do this because I love music and I love the community, and I'm just a music freak. I really am. I love playing guitar, and I was doing guitar reviews, and everyone kept saying, man, you should do a live stream. You should do a live stream. And I was never, much on doing live. We started doing the live stream. It kind of took off. Now we do a lot of just live reviews. This amplifier is kind of stupid for what it is, guys. I just, there's something about guitar that just makes me smile. And people go, well, you look like an idiot. I may look like an idiot, but this idiot is having fun. and they'll come out and I'm just doing this with the guitar, and she'll just kind of tilt her head and she'll grin. And she knows I'm blowing off steam from work. Maybe I had a bad day. I picked this thing up and it's... It's just something about it. And I shouldn't have to, because you guys know, you pick something up and it just puts that smile on your face. That's when you know you got the sound you like, you got something you like under your fingers, and everything aligns. And when I stop and think about stuff, I look at what I paid for this guitar and the cost of that amp and how good it sounds. It just, it's a working man thing. I would have no issue going out live. They might laugh at me. If I carried that little THR into a bar with this guitar, I went up to the sound guy and say, hey, just plug me into a channel. I'm coming out of my headphone jack. They would probably laugh at me. But that's fine. When that sound guy hears that, and all he has to do is move the slider, he's going to like... And I came in with a case and that in my hand. I'll do it all day long. Believe me, I carried this monstrosity for years. I'm too old to pick up that thing. I'm going to take this little guy and just go front of house with it. I need to practice more. Big time. Like they're sitting there. You used to be able to switch off and do that pull. You can't, it's hard to do that with a floating bridge guitar because as you pull up, you lose your lower note. With a tremolo, your low E will just kind of go flat when you go to pull it.
You need to mention the guitar giveaway. You have new folks.
Oh, yep, we have a guitar giveaway. New folks. This guitar is work in process. This was donated to the channel by Steven. And we give a guitar away every 2 months. So this guitar was given to the channel. We are going to put new electronics as far as volume, tone, new 3-way switch, a pure tone jack. And if you're new, I am a guitar tech. So we are going to do a redressing on the fret and do a reshape on the back of the neck. Sand the neck down, put a couple coats of tried and true on it. We're going to turn this guitar into a rocker. It's already a beautiful guitar. But if you want to enter to win this refurb, all you have to do is be publicly subscribed to this channel. And then Devastator can put a link to the Discord page. You just need to go to Discord. There's an opt-in room for the guitar giveaway. Just go in there and say, yes, I would like to be entered in to the guitar giveaway. My name on YouTube is this, if it's different than your Discord name. Just the two things you got to do. And we're going to give the guitar away. We did ask a couple people. Normally we were going to do the drawing on Saturday. I think we're going to wait till next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Let me have another week because with the snowstorm and everything, guys, we kind of fell behind. And then I lost a week working on the wing rack. So once this one's done, I need about 30 days to finish the work, and you get a free guitar. You can't beat that. This is an awesome guitar. Washburn. It's got a really pretty.
Bradley says, slick guitar. You should make a video or two showing the work you're going to put into it. Would be cool to see.
Yeah, the last one we did was the series of Ibanez Gym videos where we redid the neck on an Ibanez Gym. If you go to the channel's main page, there are a ton of videos on there on doing fret dressing, replacing pickups, working on Floyd Rose's bridge, replacing nuts, replacing tuners, just general setup information. A lot of that. And there's also a lot of highly detailed guitar reviews. I am not a fanboy of any company. The reviews are just what I receive. You might get a shining review on one guitar and then one that I just say it's just a horrible. That's the truth of this channel. We're not about this brand or that brand. We're just about what do we receive and is it worth the money? And I kind of leave it, is it worth the money, up to you guys. Because everyone has a different price point. Okay? Yep. So this is this month's guitar giveaway. Like I said, go to Discord, enter, be publicly subscribed, and you're set. And if you haven't already, guys, please go down, hit the thumbs up button for me. It really does help YouTube push the channel out for new people. I do believe that we do one of the best guitar reviews on YouTube here. And I truly believe we have one of the best communities on YouTube as far as sharing information and just it's been awesome, guys. It's been an awesome ride so far, and this year we're gonna go over even more stuff. So, thanks
You have
everyone
a
for.
wait. You have a Metal Mark. He's a new subscriber. He caught the end of the giveaway. How do you enter to win?
You just have to be publicly subscribed. So go down, hit the subscribe button. But in your main YouTube thing, you don't necessarily. Maybe Devastator or someone could explain it. Being publicly subscribed means if someone, I think they go to your page, or it shows on me. There's something you got to click to be publicly subscribed. I don't know what the difference is, but I know people can subscribe, and I can't see that subscriber. Okay, on YouTube on my end, I know I got a subscriber, but I don't know who it is. If you click publicly subscribed, and it's something in your settings, then we can verify that you're a subscriber. That's the first step. The second step is just go to Discord, go to the opt-in room. It'll say guitar giveaway, and then say yes, I want to be entered in the guitar giveaway, and put your YouTube name if it's different than Discord, and that's it.
You gotta.
Hopefully, Devastator or Steve can put what there is a difference. And I didn't realize that until someone explained to me. That's why we say publicly subscribed.
You got a super chat from Searching for Tone.
Ooh, thank you, sir, Brian. Speaking of work, Brian's in here. If you're wanting to see tutorials on the guitar giveaways, Brian gave away the Ibanez Gem that we were just talking about. And there's 5 or 6 videos on me redoing the neck and fixing some things. And then I sent it back to Brian. And Brian, on his channel, if you're not subscribed to Brian's channel, go right down here, click Searching for Tone. It'll come right up. And you can go back and look at that stuff. He's got a stream he does on Wednesday nights. So shout out to Brian's channel. Go check out his stuff. It's really cool. It's a different kind of format, but that's cool. We can't all do the same thing. I'm trying to learn from Brian. He's very interactive. I'm not quite as interactive. Brian's a very interactive, reads every line. This is more of an off the cups kind of, music kind of hangout thingy. I don't even know what you call it. This channel is more about guitar reviews and working on guitars, if that makes sense. That's what we really tried to make it do.
Brian said I reluctantly gave it away.
Yeah, that guitar turned out stupid good. But yeah, we've got a bunch of those videos on the channel. Believe me, we've covered it. And if I haven't covered something, if you go to the page and you say, I'm wanting to do this on my guitar, and you do not have a video that covers this repair, that's what Discord's for. Go into Discord and say, Avery, please, can you do a video on doing this with the guitar? I have a project coming up, and I would be curious what you would do. And believe it or not, there's going to be a ton of people there on Discord. They're going to weigh in, and they're going to give you maybe even video links. We do other channel video links. If someone else has got a video that's good, solid information, I just gave Brian a plug. It's not about hogging the air. It's about information. If Steve knows where that link is and someone's done a kick butt, tutorial on whatever you're looking for, they're going to post it on our Discord. It has nothing to do with, it's got to be from Avery. Avery don't have every answer. There's a ton of really good information and a ton of good shows on YouTube. It's just weeding through all the other ones to find the decent stuff. And that's what we try to do here. We try to be different. We try to be honest, and we try to review and go over stuff that you guys are interested in. That's the whole point of it. Plus, hell, what better job could it be to play a bunch of different guitars? I mean, it's pretty cool. As long as I can afford to do it and resell the guitar, this is like a dream thing to do. And I don't do YouTube for a living. I have another job. That's how I make my living. So my reviews, it's not Ibanez. Ibanez has nothing to do with my reviews, or Court, or whatever brand it is, Grote. you know, Yamaha. They're not paying me or soliciting to me. I have no skin in the game. I just review what I got. We bought the guitar, or a music store, Shenandoah Music, loaned me the guitar, and they've already told me, you do your review. It's about the truth. The advantage is if I see it and I take it back to Shenandoah Music, they're going to fix it. Their tech there is good. He's a good setup guy. So another plug out to Shenandoah Music. They're going to owe me a lot of money, honey. They don't give me anything, guys. I pay full price for, well, they give me 10% most of the time, but I don't always ask for it. What did we just get? And they give us a discount. I forget what we went in and bought.
Your headphones.
Oh, brand new headphones. They give me deals. I didn't even ask for it. I just said, I'll get these headphones. I asked him which one he thought was better. You know, I said my last pair was kind of hurting my ears. This pair's, I've been on for over 2 hours now. My ears are fine. I'll listen to the dude. I went up. I didn't pay it, just paid it and got home. She goes, they give you a discount? I looked, they give me 10% off. I buy a lot of stuff there. But I don't always ask for it. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I ask for it and like, you know, sometimes I don't even ask for it and I get it. So build that relationship with your local store. It's not only just building it, it's the people that come in, just like coming here and watching the channel. It's a place like we go, there's a couple people we see there on Saturdays. We don't see them every week because maybe we didn't cross paths. But that's the only place I get to see them. Some of them come into the stream time and time again that I know that's when you're doing YouTube, and they'll come in. It's like, oh, I know you're from Shenandoah. That's what it's about. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream right there. If you're not familiar, we always do a 5-minute end chat, and that lets you all kind of say goodbye to everybody. And, you know, that way the chat just doesn't cut you off. That kind of upsets me when it cuts you off. But it's 5 minutes. You guys can do your ending chat, do all that. And any comments or anything that you think would make the stream better, you can also put in here. That can also go to Discord. And don't forget, guys, go down, hit the like button, hit subscribe. And if you would come back and post a comment in the comments section of the video. Most of our live streams don't get too many comments because you're like, well, I commented all the way through the live. I get it. And then sometimes it doesn't let you comment while you're watching the live. So maybe you can come back, leave a couple comments. That also helps. Go log into Discord and continue the fun over there. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we're doing this again on Saturday night. It's Thursdays and Saturdays. So I'll see everyone on Saturday night. Hopefully we're going to have something to review. I know this is normally the review night, but the wing rack kind of threw us off base. So maybe after Saturday we can get things back on track and get back to review Thursdays and hang out Saturdays. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you Saturday night.